Hey everybody, how's it going? Steve here. I can't believe it, but I finally get to say this. The Switch 2 is finally here. I've got mine in my hands and I am so excited to play it. But before I do that, I'm doing what most of us are doing, and that is downloading my games. But that got me thinking, is the Switch 2 any faster at downloading games? Because when I went to the preview event in New York, Nintendo would not tell me whether or not the networking hardware in either the Switch 2 itself or its dock were faster than what was in the original Switch launched back in 2017. So I took it upon myself to do a test. I downloaded both the Switch 1 editions of Breath of the Wild, we just finished a download, and Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 2. Now, I made sure to get just the Switch 1 version, none of the additional stuff, so that the file sizes would be the exact same. And the Switch 2 is actually quite a bit faster, but how much faster? Well, let's just take it to the tape. Let's start with Breath of the Wild. As you can see, that is a massive improvement in speed, and what I find interesting about this is that I suspect that it's owed entirely to the additional speed in storage in the Switch 2, because when I ran a download speed test, I only got about 150 megabits per second on my 2 gig connection, where Brandon actually got much higher speeds. He reported about 300, which is way faster. Obviously, the servers are still in flux, but I didn't run just one test, I ran 2. So this time, we're going to go ahead and download Tears of the Kingdom, the Switch 1 edition, and see how that performs. Wow, that's almost a 10-minute difference in download speed between Switch 2 and Switch 1 for the exact same game directly onto the system's memory. That is a huge increase on presumably the same amount of bandwidth. Now, we're not going to really know the full story of how Switch 2 downloads pan out because, well, the servers are probably very slammed right now. I was able to download most of my games fairly quickly, from Mario Kart World to Welcome Tour to a few other launch games, as well as a few Switch 1 games that I really wanted to make the trip over here. but I've still got a lot more research to do. So stay tuned to GVG to find out much more, but right now the Switch 2 download situation is looking good. Games come onto the system way faster, even on the same internet connection. So we may see further improvements as kind of the server situation calms down a bit once people get settled in with their new consoles and we're all just playing and vibing. So let me know what you think. Did you pick up a Switch 2 and have you experienced faster download speeds? What has your experience been so far with getting stuff out of the eShop? I'd love to hear all of it, but stay tuned to GVG for much more on Switch 2. We got a ton of comparisons and a ton of other videos coming out in the next few days, as well as full reviews of many of the titles that launched today. If you'd like to support us, head over to patreon.com/gvgaming to find out how you can get involved. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.